This one hits just a little bit different. I got some shitty news.
To quit pro motocross, announcing effective immediately.
Before I make any sort of a comment on the matter, I want to have the man, the legend, Grant Langston himself tell you.
Quick update. Apparently a couple people in the TV compound have tested positive for COVID-19. So I just found out that even though if I get a negative test back, I still cannot go to the race this weekend at Ironman because I have not been vaccinated. So if you get a negative test and you have been vaccinated, you can go. So it's not, in my opinion, really about COVID, it's about the vaccine. And this is coming to me that it's the new CDC guidelines, not necessarily MAV, Lucas, or NBC. So it's a pretty unfortunate situation. Hey everyone, I just wanted to give, but with that said, they did tell me I could come to the final two events, but I must say I'm a little frustrated that with a negative test, I still cannot go. So after a lot of thought, I have made the decision to quit pro motocross, announcing effective immediately. It's a pity it has to end this way. It was a pretty good run, almost 8 seasons. Thanks to everyone for all the kind words and the compliments over the past few years. It's meant a lot to me. It's a tough job sometimes. You get very self-conscious. So those compliments meant a lot. As I said again, it's tough that it has to be like this, but I've made my decision. And take care, everyone. Cheers.
So negative test, still can't go. At least 2 weeks, everything's going to be handy dandy. I commend you, Langston, for standing up as an American and your values, because this is a job where he's making money in order to do this. And for him to give that up, that says a lot, especially about somebody's character as well. And we live in a world that is so much cancel culture. Let's bully you into submission if you don't conform. We're just on the edge of socialism. China has this new social credit system where they're trying to connect. If you're a fat ass, that where you're roundabout way you can't purchase candy and crap, they're going to say your funds aren't good here. Like it's getting out of control. But that's a communist country. This is America. You know, people have fought for our freedoms, and they are slowly being stripped away. I'm nervous for my daughter. When we went to the hospital, my wife had a COVID test, and they said it was negative, but they wanted to give her a vaccine. And I'm like, are you going to kick us out and not deliver the baby if she doesn't get the vaccine? Like, this is complete horseshit. And they're like, no, but we just highly recommend that, you know, you're here, you should get the vaccine. And she was like, oh, hell no. There hasn't been enough research for the vaccine to get through. This stuff takes a while. So what is a typical vaccine timeline to develop and research? It takes about 5 to 10 years, sometimes longer. And this sucker just went boob, boob, boob through. We got to get it out, everyone. There's no long-term evidence that the day of vaccine isn't going to do more harm than good. Therefore, I'm not taking it either. I haven't been. My wife hasn't. My daughter's not. And we're big on vaccines. Stuff that's been proven. I don't want my daughter to have tetanus or any of the other bad diseases that we can prevent because it has long-term research and data behind. This sucker has zero, has 6 months worth. It's horseshit. No fucking way am I taking the vaccine. Good on Langston. I'm 1,000% behind this individual because I know Big Pharma is out just to make a profit. Huge corporation. They make about $50 billion a year, just Pfizer alone. Who are some of the big pharma guys? Pfizer is the one making the vaccine, the Moderna, Johnson & Johnson. And guess what's funny and ironic? Pfizer had a $2 billion criminal settlement. Biggest in the country. You want to know why? It's because they were paying doctors and media places to peddle stuff that wasn't ready. Illegal. FBI found out, and let's just take a little listen to that information.
The principal violation that we looked at was the off-label promoting of drugs and the paying of kickbacks to physicians for prescribing these drugs. And really what took place was this company had this particular drug, and they wanted it to be sold. And so they brought in physicians, and they brought in people who would be marketing these drugs, and really bribed them, so to speak, brought them on junkets, brought them on trips, gave them all sorts of perks to really promote these types of drugs. We have a regional sales manager who pled guilty to off-label promotion. We had a district sales manager that was found guilty of destroying evidence, and that was done through computer analysis and looking at the computer records that were generated.
Pfizer agreed to pay a $2.3 billion fine that's made up of actually two parts. There's a $1.195 billion criminal fine, and there's a $1 billion civil remedy also. Both of these are the largest ever collected by the Department of Justice. The criminal fine, the $1.195 billion, is the largest criminal fine in the history of the country.
My point is Big Pharma's not out to protect you or help you in any way. They have an agenda. Granted, this is very political. There's an agenda with everything, and it's basically between money and control. And the biggest problem I see that is happening in the world is it's the stealing of our data. You've got Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, blah, blah, blah. They all let us use a platform for free, and in exchange, we give them all this data. And the information out there is so broad that we come to conclusion that we have found something because we searched for it. We did that. Little do we know that we were pointed in that direction. We don't have this broad aspect of everything. We take the first thing that we read as fact. And that's the problem. That is the sheer problem of this technology. And moving into the exclusion criteria of getting the vaccine. So you don't have to take the vaccine if you have any of this stuff. Breastfeeding, had any medical condition, any major surgery. That's pretty much anybody that's ridden a motorcycle. Chronic use, medications, have positive alcohol, history of hypersensitivity. So pretty much it looks like damn near there's so many reasons that you can have an exemption to the vaccine, but everywhere you hear is it's becoming more of a mandate in order to do so. So, Grant Langston, I commend you. Hats off to you. If I had a hat, I'd give it to you. What you did is commendable, and I hope we try to move forward from all this cancel culture and we can just have a conversation, debate, not just bully somebody into submission in order to get our point across. The only way to grow from something is to have a conversation. Same thing with the motorcycle community. We need to continue to build each other up, not try to cancel everybody. And again, that's why I'm so much for Bitcoin, because it gives power back to the effing people. Let's take our rights back. I didn't forget. Well, I kind of did. No.